my middleweight rankings, my updated middleweight rankings after this fight Saturday between Canelo and Triple G for the middleweight title. There's only one title, all right, in this household anyway, and this was for the middleweight title. So updated rankings. Let's start off with number 5. And I love to see your rankings. Give me 1 through 5 on your rankings. If you disagree with mine, hit me up. Let me know why you disagree. But at number 5, I've got Charlo, one of the Charlo twins. Look, he had the win in April against Centeno Jr. I'd like to see him more active. I want to see this guy more active. If he's not going to be in there with the top fighter, if they're not going to step in with him, just stay active, get him a fight, have him fight every couple months. But I think his last fight was in April, and we're in September, and nothing's set up yet. So I would have liked to have seen this guy fight again before the end of the year. Maybe they're going to have him set up with something. I would have liked to have seen him fight April, September, December. If they could do that, keep him active, but set him up with something. I got him at number 5 still, coming off that win. I think that was April or May, his last fight. So I just like to see him more active. Number 4, Billy Joe Saunders. Look, I'm tired of the guy's antics outside of the ring. He's another guy who doesn't always back up his trash talk. He talks like he's this guy who's going to knock everybody out, more of a boxer, which is fine. And I'm fine with the trash talk. But all the other antics, this extracurricular activity, picking a fight with Deontay Wilder and then running out the restaurant like his clothes are on fire, and then this stuff with the homeless people that just came out. I watched the video. It's distasteful. He's in trouble for that right now. I just wish he would get his act cleaned up a little bit. I mean, his son is punching people in the balls at weigh-ins. Just get that stuff cleaned up. He's you guys love using this word overseas. He's a bit of a wanker, man. Clean that stuff up. Get it together. Stay active. He's got great boxing skills, but it's still far off from becoming anything close to a great fighter if he doesn't get more active and he doesn't clean up his act at all. He just seems undisciplined, and get it together. But he's got the fight with Boo Boo Andrade, whatever you call him, his last name, who is a top 10 middleweight in some people's rankings. He's another guy who is not active at all. So we don't know what to make of him still this far into his career. So we'll see what happens with that fight. If Billy Joe Saunders comes out of that, and then hopefully he steps in there with a top 3 guy, and then we can see what's what with Billy Joe Saunders and better critique him and criticize him, or give him props once we see him in there with one of the top middleweights out there. A lot of talk, but we need more action from Mr. Billy Joe Saunders. Number 3, Danny Jacobs. Now, Danny Jacobs did not look good in his last fight, in my opinion. I think the Triple G fight took more out of him than people are giving Triple G credit for, although that was a close fight. I think Triple G does that to people. But Jacobs came out of it. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, even though I thought he looked bad in his last fight. He looked flat. He's got this fight coming up with Derevyanchenko, who is a top 10 middleweight in pretty much everybody's rankings, undefeated fighter. So we'll see what happens with Jacobs. Right now, he's solid at number 3. Solid, clear number 3 fighter. In my opinion, anyway, I think you still got to put him ahead of Billy Joe Saunders. He's just done more in his career. Been more active as well. So number 3, Danny Jacobs. Number 2, this is where the flip has been. Number 2, I got Triple G. Now, I empathize with people who still have Triple G number 1. As somebody put on my video yesterday under the comments, that 24 rounds with Canelo, they felt Triple G won most of the rounds, and Triple G got no victories out of it. 0-1-1. They felt that wasn't right, that Triple G deserved at least one of the fights. Look, I thought Triple G won the first fight, and I still stand by that. I thought he clearly won the first fight in a close fight. Second fight, it felt the opposite for me. It felt like Canelo was the better fighter. Now, I didn't score the fight. Once again, I want to say that. I didn't score the fight. I'll score it Saturday when I watch the replay to see how I had it specifically. But it felt to me like that Canelo was slightly the better fighter on this past Saturday night. Just like it felt to me Triple G was slightly the better man in the first fight, that's how it felt for Canelo in the second fight, that he was slightly better than Triple G in this fight. But I could be wrong once I watch it and actually score it through 12 rounds. It could be misleading when you just sit back and watch a fight and say, I mean, let's take Danny Garcia versus Lamont Peterson fight. I felt Danny Garcia gave up the first 7 rounds, or Lamont Peterson gave up the first 7 rounds by fighting a terrible strategy and circling and running for the first 7 rounds, not throwing too many punches. And then he beat up Danny Garcia through the last five rounds, beat the hell out of him. And I came out of that thinking, Lamont Peterson is definitely the better fighter. But when you scored over 12 rounds each round, I thought Danny Garcia came out on top, even though I felt Lamont Peterson was the better fighter. So it could be misleading when you don't score each round in a 10-point must system. So we'll see how I score it. But it felt to me like Canelo was slightly the better fighter. So as of right now, I got Triple G number 2, Canelo number 1. Canelo is the middleweight king, in my opinion. Fought a hell of a fight. Let me know what y'all think about y'all's top 5 middleweights. I am out. Peace.